I don't want to get cross today. Ugh, dear.
5, 6, 7 pieces of broccoli.
God, what am I doing?
What happens when two hard-working mums down tools and go on strike for 3 days, leaving the house and children in the hands of their husbands? Which dad will cope best with the challenges the mums have set? Clueless Keith, who's a culinary virgin? Or confident Jonathan, who thinks he's got it sussed? Our parenting advisor, Anna Raeburn, will be watching to see if they make light work of the challenges ahead.
Dads often say, how hard can it be to stay at home with the children? Well, they're about to find out.
First, let's meet Keith and the rest of the Wisemans. Primary school teacher Rasheen does 12 loads of washing a week. Pig farmer Keith is a DIY enthusiast, but that's the only chore he likes. 2-year-old Alice is a budding artist. And 6-year-old Jordan loves building. Keith's much happy to play with the kids and help Rosh with the housework.
Mum does the washing up, cleaning the bathroom, hoovering.
My biggest gripe with Keith is that it annoys him that I'm so busy.
Making beds, cooking dinner, mowing the lawn.
I like to sit down and just relax before I go to bed, before the sort of next day starts.
Which is fair enough, but I often find that I don't stop till about 9:30 to 10.
Dad could help Mum a bit more. Otherwise, she's a lazy chops.
I think the mum bit I'd be all right. I think it's the housewife bit I'd probably falter on because I'm just completely clueless.
But before Rosh goes on strike, it's time to see how much Keith really knows about his family.
What is the full name of the principal of Alice's nursery?
Sarah Beckett. Sarah?
Sarah. What is the name of Jordan's inhaler?
Ventolin.
What iron setting is needed if using steam?
Dunno. Full stop.
What are the ingredients for a lasagna?
Mince.
And
Lasagna sheets.
what else?
Hope.
And hope.
That's 1 out of 4 needs to try harder. Rosh is about to teach Keith the ultimate lesson in housework by going on strike.
Dear Keith, as of now, I am leaving you. I thought it would be nice for you to have some time with the children, alone. I've taken the remote control for the TV just to help you focus on the jobs in hand. Hope you enjoy yourself. I'm going to try and make sure I do. Oh, good grief.
Just to make sure that you don't forget anything, I'll leave you with a few suggestions to keep you busy whilst I'm relaxing. That's a bit unfair, Julie. Huh? Don't forget washing needs doing every day. You need to do the shopping, cook a couple of meals from scratch, and freeze extra portions for the children. And don't forget to hoover around at the end of the day.
While Keith is left holding the apron strings, Rosh is off to the Marriott Hanbury Manor luxury spa.
Oh, gorgeous. Can we make it more than 2 nights?
But what Keith doesn't know is that she'll be watching him 24/7. So how's Keith feeling about filling Rosh's shoes?
Yes, yeah, I'm up for the challenge. It's,
Task 1 for Keith is washing and dressing 2-year-old Alice. He's gone for trousers, but Alice has something else in mind.
Yeah, should we put this on first?
I'll put that on.
No, we got to put these on first to cover your arms up.
On!
Ooh, you see it all.
In fact, Alice wants to do everything her way.
I don't want
I'll do it first.
I do it.
Oh, you do it first, then. Well, we survived the first dressing of Alice.
Yes, but you put her in a dress and trousers. So what does our expert make of Keith's efforts so far?
Keith let Alice choose what to wear, and she wound up wearing a dress and trousers, but she was perfectly happy. Mums often get into unnecessary rows with their children about what to wear, but from my point of view, if the child is warm and decent, that's really all that matters.
Across the county live the Daltons. Housewife Natalie is a compulsive planner. Graphic designer Jonathan is a keep fit fanatic. 4-year-old Harry loves his trains. And 2-year-old Thomas loves food. Jonathan thinks Natalie should slow down. He doesn't understand why she needs to race.
I thought I was giving up work to have a rest. I was so naive.
Toughest part of my day is probably deciding what to have for lunch.
I thought my maternity leave would be sat on the patio doing this with a pushchair.
But it is her own doing sometimes. I think she could probably slow down a bit.
I think I've definitely got the harder job.
I think I'm going to cope very well in my own little way, I'm sure.
But how much does Jonathan really know about his home life?
What is Thomas's date of birth?
8th of May 2002.
What time do I start school in the morning?
9 o'clock.
What day of the week was Harry born on?
Day of the week. I know it was European Championships. France were playing Czechoslovakia, I'm sure they were. That day.
What number reading rocket am I on?
Don't know.
1 out of 4, pretty poor, and Jonathan thought he knew it all. He could be in for a shock once he's left on his own.
Dear Jonathan, I'm going on strike. I know you always think I work at 150 miles an hour, but you're about to find out why. All my love, Natalie.
Drop that down a second, dude. Thanks.
To ensure no distractions, Natalie's taking his gym kit.
Right. While I'm away, taking it easy and relaxing, you'll have a chance to see what it's like to be me doing all my jobs.
Jonathan might have got the rough end of the stick.
Friday is a weekday. You'll remember what needs to be done. By the way, it's my turn to do Friday Club this week, so you'll need to do tea for the kids and a yummy fat-free cake for the girls. Please remember to keep things tidy in case the estate agent wants to show people round. Don't forget to wash the boys' hair and have a great time.
While Natalie puts her feet up, Jonathan has to get to grips with task number 1, getting Harry to school. But has he checked the calendar?
Stop, stop. Stand still. Right, listen.
With a deadline to meet, his relaxed attitude won't do him any favours.
Stand still. Right, we're doing Thomas. Team Tiki time. No. 1, 2.
Good boys.
If Harry's going to get to school on time, there's no room for messing around.
Harry. Harry. Thomas, come on.
Dad tries to be stern, but he can't quite pull it off.
Right, stand still. Stop it, because if we're going to be late, do you want Miss G to tell us off?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into trouble. Do you want to get into trouble? Stand still. Stand still. I don't want to get cross today. Harry.
But Harry can't take his dad seriously.
Stand up. Stand.
Let's skate.
Oh, please. There we go.
After letting the kids run riot, Jonathan's looking stressed. He's got a race on his hands.
I think we're going to be late, chaps. You looking forward to the school today, Harry? Yeah.
But when Jonathan and the boys finally arrive at Harry's school, it's closed.
You haven't got to go to school today.
No children today.
You didn't tell me that. I haven't got to be here after all that effort that I put in this morning.
What a false start for Jonathan. He should have checked that calendar, but he's looking for someone else to blame.
You should have told me.
Poor Jonathan, he should know his wife well enough to know she runs the whole home from a calendar. Have an agreed place where all the information relating to the kids is written down. School plays, half-term, swimming evenings, parties, and don't leave home without checking it.
Coming up, can Jonathan survive cake making? And will he remember to feed the kids? And Keith does online shopping with interesting results.
4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of broccoli.
Dads Keith and Jonathan are struggling to juggle kids and chores. They have 3 days to prove they can fill their wives' shoes. But who will cope the best? Meanwhile, wives Rosh and Natalie are on strike, relaxing at a luxury spa. Keith's wife Roisin is enjoying being pampered.
I think it just takes time to start really relaxing, and this sort of thing is just ideal.
Feeling refreshed, Rosh gets the chance to spy on her husband.
On shop, Johnny. See if we know what the password is. Lucky guess, Johnny.
So he's managed to log on.
Come sit up here and give me a hand, see what we want. Wow.
It's obvious Keith isn't going to get any help from Jordan.
It says weight guide on here, and I'm just wondering whether that's... I can't presume it's the weight of each piece of broccoli or...
Order by weight. Oh no, be there forever, bless him. 11:30. How long has he been doing it already?
We've either ordered a 1 kilogram broccoli or we got 1 ton, so it'll be interesting to see. It's got a list down the side there which tells you actually what you've actually ordered. And I had actually only ordered 1 carrot.
Oh, great. He's still looking quite calm about this, not too het up yet. Oh, but we're on 12:05, so he's already been shopping for 35 minutes nearly.
I lost all now. It's all gone.
After another 30 minutes, Keith is finally back to where he was. But when he finally sent his order through...
No, that's typical. Tesco's unfortunately can't deliver today. So, unfortunately, the kids will have to have what's in the freezer.
What a cheat!
We have survived our first Tesco shop, never to be repeated.
Some people have survived better than others.
Come on, mate.
At the Dalton house, Jonathan is about to tackle task number 2, baking a birthday cake.
Okay, you're going to help me choose the cakes? You need to look for a V, which is V for Victoria sponge. So...
At 3:30, he's got 4 mums and 5 kids coming round for tea.
Cake.
This
No, that doesn't look like it.
Oh, this is like it.
Oh, chocolate cake.
That's chocolate pudding.
We made that one.
Everybody's on a diet, so we have to make a non-fat one. I don't know where the top of the scales are. All the baking tins.
Jonathan can only focus on one thing at a time, and to make things more difficult, the kids are playing up.
No.
Where's the...
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Harry! Thomas!
No.
Stop.
God, they're
Listen,
fighting.
Do you want to help? If you don't want to help, you can go away. Behave. Leave this Thomas alone.
I don't.
Right, Thomas, I need you to do some measuring.
And if Jonathan wasn't having enough problems multitasking already...
Oh, doorbell. House viewing.
Hi.
Hi, Mrs. Townsend, to come look round your property.
Right, come on in. I've never done this with eggs in my hand before. Can you be quiet a second? No, you can't have the eggs, they'll break. OK. Yeah. OK, living room. No, that's not a good idea. Living room, sorry. Wait a minute, Thomas. Yeah, sorry about this. No, OK, put that in the kitchen for me. Put that in the kitchen. Thank you. OK, conservatory wasn't here originally, had that added on. So if I show you around, and then you can just help yourself around, you can go around like that.
Oh, yeah, help yourself to our stuff.
Jonathan has forgotten to give the children any lunch, and Thomas is so hungry he's eating the margarine.
Where's Daddy? Shoved, where's Daddy?
Daddy won't let me hold the eggs.
What do you want to do? What do you want to have a look round on your own, or you want to go?
He's got 4 eggs in his hand. Looks like he's going to start juggling with them. I take it they haven't rung and put an offer in then.
We've only got caster sugar, and it says golden caster sugar. And then it says to put a dessert spoon of caster sugar in, which we've got, but 175 grams of caster sugar, so I'm assuming you can't have 175 grams of normal caster sugar.
Jonathan resorts to seeing if the note has any clues. And with just 30 minutes before his guests arrive, Jonathan does what all men do in a crisis.
Right. Actually, let's quickly phone Nanny. That'll be a good
Ah, I
idea.
told you he'd ring his mum.
What are you doing? Hi, Mum. What's the difference between golden caster sugar and regular caster sugar?
She'll be hating this because she'll be dying to just come round and do it for him.
OK. Yeah, fine. I've got to go because I'm late. Bye. Right. Thomas. Right, Nanny says we can use regular stuff.
Harry's still in his school uniform. At least his packed lunch has come in handy.
It's going to be 3:30. They're going to be a bit hot, so we should have made these earlier. Right, tip it in. One, that's it. And the other one. Scrape it all in. Yeah, you can do it. I'm letting you do it.
But with his guest due any second, Jonathan is running out of time.
Harry, let him in, please, baby.
Ah, trouble.
Come in.
Doorbell again.
Door. Who's at the door?
It's the girls.
Come in. We're making a cake. That's a secret. Shush. In you come.
No.
Don't start fighting already. Do you want Mummy?
Despite now having 7 children to worry about, not to mention a cake in the oven, Jonathan is keeping his head.
You all right, Lily? Thomas, stop throwing the pillows.
He's busy playing host.
Really? Where is he today? Is he Scotland?
He's doing quite the girly gossiping quite well, though.
Oh, the cake.
Emergency phone.
Door. Is that cooked?
Look at this. Oh, that's not bad. Look at that.
No, not quite, because it's going down the middle already, Jonathan. Right. So, like, about another 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Right, OK.
Oh, he's running back to the kitchen again. He's obviously forgotten it again.
It must be done now. Is it done?
Look, I'm
Upside.
drinking my tea.
You have to help me.
I'm chatting to my friends. So you're fine, you can cope. Can I go
I can't cut. You can, sorry. Who wants to lick some cream?
I want some cream on mine.
They're all eating cream before they have their tea.
Oh, look at them all looking.
Put your finger in.
Oh, look,
Let's do
icing.
this one on the floor. OK, right in the middle. Yeah. Whoa.
Don't
it's
do
a
it
big
on the
squeezy
floor.
dollar. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Auntie Dawn. Happy birthday to you. Who would like some cake?
Very fresh and...
It's all right, actually. Even if I do say so myself.
At the end of day 1,
Love you. Good night, darling.
Jonathan is feeling the effects.
Night, dude. I'm pretty exhausted, I must say. My legs are the biggest thing. I just feel I've been on my legs all day. The backs of my knees are killing me. I do feel I just want to sit down now.
Jonathan's done really well. Baked a cake, the house is for sale, he's shown it to visitors, entertained his wife's friends. Just one small thing, Jonathan. Kids' lunch?
At the Wisemans, Farmer Keith is also facing a cookery challenge. He has to cook a meal from scratch, but he's cheating.
Cook a couple of meals from frozen. Right, as you can see, there's something I prepared earlier, i.e. I've defrosted it. So this is something that Rosh has prepared earlier, but I have got to do the rice, so it's not all Rosh's handiwork.
What a cheat.
We'll be having chilli for tea, which the kids love, he says, hopefully.
Not unless you take the kidney beans out, they won't like it.
Have a drink, please.
You don't want it either?
No. Got
'Cause there's
kidney
Alice.
beans in.
If he'd looked in the freezer, there's actually a pot of mince with chilli in without kidney beans in for the kids, but he obviously didn't get that far.
And having thought the dinner would be a breeze, Keith's had to take all the kidney beans out before the kids will eat.
Well, it was a nice white top when we started off today. How we got on today?
Rubbish.
You can always rely on children to tell you how it is.
Oh, dear. The end of day 1. Haven't survived... oh, wrong bottle. Haven't survived the trials and tribulations of day 1. I think I succeeded. And we shall see what day 2 brings.
I'm not sure the missus would share your confidence that you're keeping on top of things. It's day 2 in the Wiseman household and Keith's online shopping has finally arrived.
Morning.
All right.
Just down there for you. How many bags of crisps have you ordered?
Take the bread in. There you go. Don't you take the bottle? You take that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
You seem to have got a lot of milk, but never mind.
Oh gosh, that is a lot of milk.
Someone will use that.
It's not going to have much room in the fridge for anything but milk.
So far, so good, apart from the milk. I think everything's arrived, unfortunately, which means I've got to cook. So, yeah, I think we're going to have milk casserole, followed by milk à l'orange. She's standing on them crisps again. Eh? Yeah, that's not very clever, is it? No, you're not having any crisps yet. You got to have some. I got to have a sandwich. Sandwich then crisps? What a terrible dad. No, we'll put these away.
Keith has ordered 24 pints of milk, 48 packets of crisps.
We have not 1 stalk of broccoli, not 2, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of broccoli. That is it.
Oh, God! What am I
Keith struggled on the domestic front, but when he gave the kids chili, he did exactly the right thing. They didn't want the kidney beans, he took the kidney beans out. It really isn't worth having a pitched battle with your children over something if they're eating a more or less balanced diet. Let it go.
Coming up in part 3, Keith and Jonathan have a mother's meeting.
Yeah, cheers. Good to meet you. We survived.
And Rosh and Natalie sneak back home.
It's clearly taken to the bottle. Well, here's to you, Keith. I hope you're not too harassed, love. So what are they doing now? I bet they're not drinking champagne.
I don't think so.
Task number 3 for laid-back Jonathan is a trip to the zoo, and the kids are starving. It would have helped if Dad had remembered to give them breakfast.
Where do you want to go first? Elephant? Oh, Harry's starving, so I'm going to have to get something to eat.
Harry's starving, they've only just got there.
Maybe a chocolate bar or something. Lunch on the go. There you go.
Ice cream? I did say they'd end up eating ice cream. I mean, it's probably about 2 degrees.
This way, come on in.
Armed with lunch on a stick, they're off to meet the tigers. But Harry isn't happy.
Look at the tiger. Please.
Speak nicely. Don't do it for him unless he says please. Ooh, serious tantrum.
You are a plum sometimes. Is that OK? What's wrong with that? Where do you want it? Tell me. If you talk to me nicely and show me where you want it.
Up a bit.
Just up a little bit, just like that?
Yes.
Is that enough?
Yes.
Is that... It's about 2 millimetres.
I put it down.
Are you going to eat it or not? What are you trying to do? So if I push it up any more, it'll come off. I don't need to think what Natalie would think of the ice cream. She'd kill me. But I didn't have much choice. Well, I did have much choice, but
You could have
once I
made
got
a packed
here, I
lunch.
kind of forgot lunch and forgot everything else, really. So Harry doesn't normally like eating, so I just assumed he'd be able to go through till tea time. But obviously not, so
He was expecting him to go through till tea time with no food.
I'll be in the doghouse.
The kids are still hungry, and in a panic, Jonathan has bought sandwiches and crisps, but Harry doesn't like them.
I had nothing to
Poor little Oliver.
You didn't like any of the sandwiches? I did try and get you a sandwich. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Jonathan's having more luck at feeding the elephants than at feeding his sons. It's tea time, and Jonathan has gone for the easy option.
Order delivery, please.
And with one tired, hungry son and one still full of beans, what has Jonathan learnt about Natalie's end of the deal?
I'm sure today I've learned that I need to be a bit more disciplined. I suppose it comes under planning. I'd also say that she probably just needs to chill out a bit. That's not to say she's doing a bad job by any means, but if we both met somewhere in the middle, I'm sure there'll be a good compromise somewhere.
At the Wiseman house, Farmer Keith still hasn't completed his cooking challenge, making a lasagna from scratch. Today, there's no excuses and no cheating allowed.
Put the peppers in.
And to help him in his task, he's enlisted 2-year-old Alice.
You know if this all goes wrong, Alice, I'm going to blame you. Ugh, strange child.
But Alice would rather eat the ingredients.
Whisk it up.
What's he doing?
Turn it on. That was a handy measure. Oh, no.
What is he doing? You can't... Why is he blending the meat? Ugh. I'm just a bit concerned. I can't actually see any tomatoes in the mixture. He did forget to put the tomato in.
Then we'll see what happens in 30 minutes, because the chippy doesn't shut till 7, so we'll be all right till then. Look at that. A ready cooked meal in 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Half an hour later, the lasagna is ready to eat. For those brave enough.
Never before seen Keith's lasagna.
Yep, that's a dry, crusty lasagna.
But the kids turn down Keith's lasagna and instead Jordan opts for spaghetti bolognese.
And? OK? Eatable?
Fortunately, ketchup and mince is a hit. But what's Keith's verdict?
Got rather a crispy bit on top, which, you want some new shoe leather, don't you?
After 2 days of being a mum,
No.
what has Keith learned?
I think Rosh's lifestyle, from what I've seen over the last couple of days, is I don't quite know how she fits it all in. It's amazing, really, that then she can still do that and do a 3-day-a-week job. Perhaps definitely should have helped a bit more around the house. And I think I've finished this, but she still says I've got something to do. Perhaps I should get up and just help her finish off so she can sit down with me as well. Oh dear.
For our dads, the challenge is almost over, so they're meeting up to compare notes. And for all 4 kids, it'll be the first square meal they've had in days.
Children have suddenly gone quiet. Are you hungry?
Maybe we should have fed them. Is that as nice as Daddy's dinners?
Daddy's hungry.
So have you found the last 3 days? You've been OK, or has it been a bit of a struggle?
It's been very interesting, I must admit. You know, domestic chores are not high on my list of priorities, but...
I didn't mind it, I must admit, at first. Unfortunately, I think I've proved her right by all the things that she's probably said about me that I don't do. I probably haven't coped particularly well, so I've quite enjoyed it. It's been fun. I just don't mind it. I wouldn't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again. Cheers. Good to meet you. We survived.
Yeah. Cheers, Alice.
And while Jonathan's out, Natalie's come back home.
Still standing, that's a good sign.
Will the house meet her exacting standards?
I can smell polish. It's really clean. He's fluffed all the sofas. God, it's spotless. Yeah. Let's see if he managed to make the beds. Ooh, he's even changed the block in the toilet.
Jonathan and the boys head back home, unaware Natalie is waiting for them.
In you go. Want me to make you a cup of tea?
Hello.
It's Mummy!
Look, it's Mum. Mummy's been watching videos. Do you know what Mummy's been watching videos of?
I bet you've been watching bloody videos of me, haven't you?
Yes! That has to be the funniest thing I've ever seen.
You're going to come off strike?
Well, I think we probably need to negotiate a bit more about the pay and conditions.
Conditions you pay.
I must admit, if I'd known going on strike was so fantastic, I'd have done it years ago.
Meanwhile, at the Wiseman house, Rosh has crept back home before Keith. She's carrying out her inspection.
I can see some broccoli. Surprised to see this wine. My husband doesn't normally drink. He's clearly taken to the bottle. That's possibly could catch on. OK. The front room doesn't look too bad. Can't see any permanent damage, so... And our bedroom. I'm sure it's not absolutely spotless, but then He needs spotless.
It's not long before Keith and the children return. Little do they know, Rosh is waiting to surprise them. And 5 minutes later, having got over the surprise...
So you're coming off strike then?
I think I better had to. I think if I don't come home, you might all die of starvation. Can I just say, though, you've been absolutely gorgeous with the children, and they're obviously absolutely fine, but you have made me laugh.
Well, that's the main thing, as long as the kids have survived. Started out with 2 kids and finished with 2 kids, so it can't be that bad.
So, who does our expert Anna Raeburn think coped the best? Clueless Keith or confident Jonathan?
Jonathan really enjoyed his time with his children, but there are key things he needs to improve. He missed out meals 2 days running. Got to sort that out. Keith's had such fun. From previously being somebody who did nothing in the house, he's really got stuck in, vowed to do more, and that makes him my dad of the day.
Well, I've been awarded a certificate for the most improved dad on Mums on Strike.
Dad of the day for performing general household chores, organising the kids, and valiant attempts at multitasking. It doesn't actually mention the cooking, which is a bit worrying, but it was a good attempt, I think, to try to be a mum as well as a dad, I think.